What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hoopty's Rides and Reviews. We're back on the $500 Honda motorcycle restoration for my dad. Nothing like walking past a bunch of brand new motorcycles. It really makes you want to work on all this junk. So I put some 93 octane, half a can of Seafoam, half a can of Berryman, a little bit of this Lucas Fuel Saver, just to lubricate that pump. And I'm trying to save the pump. Right now I have it on recirculate. So right now it's just pumping with my booster box and recirculating the gas into the tank, through the filter, back through the pump, back into the tank with all that cleaner in there. I'm going to try to save that pump, and so far it sounds a lot better. So I ran that pump for about a total of an hour and a half, recirculating that cleaner through there. I'm getting a pretty consistent 2 ounces every 5 seconds. So that brings me to about 24 ounces, and that's about all it should be pumping. It said 22 ounces in the book. And that should at least make it be able to idle properly. So we're going to put this air filter on and see if it runs right. So I'm going to clean up this air filter screen and put on the new Honda filter that I got. I was thinking about it and I was like, maybe this thing is just running super lean because I got it sitting wide open. The air isn't restricted at all, so it's just letting ice cold air right into the carbs and leaning it out. It might be part of my problem. So we're going to go ahead and put the full intake system back on it and try to start it. Pre-oiled. Alright, cold start, take 27. Might have to pump some of that fuel up. So my cheap eBay fuel pump came in early. I also got this voltmeter so I can go through the entire fuel system. I am really getting tired of working on this thing, so I'm just going to go through, test everything I can. That fuel pump does work when I hot wire it, so it's got to make enough fuel pressure to at least get this thing to idle, and it's not doing that. So there's something going on, and I'm going to figure this out. I went through the carburetor one more time, and we got our intake boots. Our intake boots were leaking really badly, and I had to readjust the floats on them things. They were way off. So it's running pretty good now. I had to take the carbs off and go through them actually twice to make sure that they were right. One of the floats started getting stuck, so I had to take it back off again. But I got it right now, and I'm going to go ahead and start it up for you. I'm going ahead and taping up the harness, cleaning that back up so I can go ahead and put everything back together. I got the hardware to put the tank back on, but go ahead and start it up. Still got some noise over there, but it needs to be run a lot more. I'm thinking that's either between the fuel that I've got in it or the spark plugs that are still in it. Those are still the old spark plugs, so I need to swap those over. I did find that these 2 wires that go to the fuel cut relay, and I wasn't getting much power from the fuel cut relay. I think it was the wires were frayed back in here and they were shorting out. Installing the tank, got brand new rubbers and bolts. We got the brand new Honda keys for the brand new Honda gas cap that I got. The old one's starting to have some pitting on it right here. I think I have the key for this, but I might have lost the key for this, but I'm not sure. But this one has a nice little spot where it clicks in, where it stops. clicks right in. It's brand new, clean. We'll install this. I've completely gone through the fuel system, put a new fuel filter, a new fuel pump, new coils, a new battery. I had to swap one of the old coils back in because we had some issues. I'm still figuring out something with that. I'm not sure. The spark seems good, but the tachometer seems like it's all over the place. It might be a bad tachometer. There's a new fuel pump. Actually, I got the old fuel pump to work. I think the relay was just not putting out a whole lot of volts, and I was also having carburetor issues, so a combination of the two was making it so it didn't want to run. So we're going to throw this thing on a spare parts bench. Seems to be still good. Went up to O'Reilly's and got the final piece other than the exhaust. We're going to probably straight pipe this thing or maybe try to save these mufflers. I bought a coupling just to kind of test fit it. It's a 2-inch coupling. Got the spark plugs on here. We're going to throw the spark plugs in here. See how she runs. Alright, so let's get a look at our first 2 spark plugs. There's 4 spark plugs, 1 on each side for each cylinder. And see, this one's pretty black. Got a little bit of oil because it's leaking oil down into the around the spark plug itself. See, it's right there up near the gasket. It's all black, so that means it's running a little bit rich or just burning oil. That's the cylinder that's not running so good. And this one looks to be a little lean, a little white on that tip right there, running a little hot. Not too bad though. I have been told by my buddy Scott I need to fatten this thing up a little bit, but I have read that these things come super lean from the factory anyway. Let's throw these new plugs in. I'm going to gap them. They should be between 0.31 and 0.35. Alright, now we're on the other side. Pretty similar. Don't look too bad. Alright, here's the front cylinder, the one we're having trouble with. And it looks coated. It's coated in oil. Just like the other side, pretty black. Alright, so we're going to try to give this thing a cold start with the new spark plugs. See how it does. Little choke. Seems to be running pretty good. I've had it running for a few minutes now. Runs even better now that I plugged that spark plug in that I forgot to plug back in. Yeah. Had 3 spark plugs for a little while. Still ran. Well, the tank's pretty dirty, but I got her all bolted together. The hardware is not tight. I did not completely bolt in the tank or bolt in these seats. I still have to get the nuts for these seats actually. And my dad still has the side cover and everything, but we have come a long way. This bike was just completely abandoned by my dad because he just couldn't do it, but we're getting it back together for him. I've got the valve stems for the tires, and I think he's going to order new tires for it, but that's it for right now. And next time you see this thing, we're probably going to put some valve stems in it and do a huge burnout with these old crappy tires before he puts new tires on it. Until next time, please subscribe, hit me up, comments, deuces. We're working on the nearly free pickup truck today. I got this truck from a job. I traded a little bit of work, a little bit of dump fees, cleaning up some stuff. Got it with the title, with the keys, and supposedly it just wouldn't start one day. So my son's out here, he wants to help me work on it. Those are his tools. I'm gonna bring some of my tools out too. We're gonna bring a jack out, and we got oil change, new battery cable, because the cable across the hood goes under the hood to the electronics. That's all cut, or for some reason, I don't know why. And we've got a huge, sorry for the glare, huge assortment of parts. We've got cold air intake, new boots, clamps, and all that. Cheap cold air intake.